Welcome back to another NBA 2K25 custom roster video. As always, I'm Pete Toll, aka PT Sports 84, bringing you another request from the community. I've had a lot of people hit me up and ask me why I have not done a 1960s roster. So I kind of searched around because I'm not as well versed in the 60s rosters per se. So I looked around the community, found a roster. It seems like there's multiple users that kind of made a baseline 60s roster. So I can't really credit the original creator because I don't know who it is. But we have the 1963 1964 NBA season with correct logos for all the teams, jerseys, courts, and players. Now, you may be saying, well, it's crazy that, you don't have a lot of teams in this era. There's only 9 teams total in this particular season. But with that said, it's crazy that, not a lot more attention is paid to this particular era. Obviously, the most dominant team was the Boston Celtics. With not a lot of teams, there's obviously controversy of, the best players coming out of the, 50s, 60s, and so on. But I wanted to honor the request of the community to have a Play Now roster available for anyone to use. This one can be found in the Bird versus Magic era. You can find it under PT Sports 84. You'll see it. It says 1963, 1964 NBA roster. Now, the details that I was able to add to this one, I took out the 3 point shooting because obviously there weren't 3 point shooters in this era. I edited all the tendencies to take those out. I edited the tendencies of this roster also to better streamline it where there wasn't pull up jumpers and all that stuff from three in simulations. So, obviously, this being a play now roster, I would not advise to take this into my NBA because it will crash. There's only 9 teams total in this roster. So, do not take this into my NBA. This is strictly for my play now audience. Now, obviously, with that said, the changes that I was able to make, I got all of the coaches for this particular 9 team 1963-64 season correct. So you'll see all of them there. So as you go through, you'll see that all the rosters are correct. I did fix the faces for a lot of players because a lot of them were off and just didn't look right in the original roster. So I changed a lot of those. I didn't really play around with attributes other than taking down the 3 point shot. I kind of left it as is, just based on that particular era. I did add some faces that were hidden in the 2K files. Obviously, if you look at the original roster, there were guys that already had faces, like Larry Siegfried. He had an original face in there that was not added previously. There's a few others that were in throughout that I added the official faces for as well. I took faces that I had for a couple of the guys on the Lakers and added them in from prior rosters. So you'll see those in there as well. But you could see the roster here. Try to do the best I could. It's not going to be perfect just because the era. I'm not as well versed. Just so to be completely honest, I did the best I could based off of the original roster and just kind of where things stood as far as that goes. So, as you could see, you've got as many real faces as you could get in the roster. So, just feel free to go through. Also added Jerry Ward. He was an official face that was hidden in the files as well. So you'll find all of those guys there. You do have, like I said, the logos and uniforms for the teams. So feel free to use this roster as you want to. Just make sure you are keeping in mind that it is only for play now. It loads up. I recommend personally taking the filters off because it's really grainy if you play with the filter on. I always take the filter off and play. But hopefully this roster is as accurate as you guys wanted for the 1960s. Next up, I've got a couple rosters that I'm working on. Slowly but surely, I'm working on the 76-77 season. Also going to work on the 80-81 season. And then someone else is working on 88-89 for the most part. I'll go back and clean it up with coaches and fill in the players that are not the main players. But that's going to take me probably a couple weeks to get that. And then a 2019-2020 roster. And then outside of that, like then I'll go back to doing another college roster as well as an all-time college roster. That's down the line though. We do have a ratings update I think coming tomorrow, which is January 30th. So look out for a video on that. All the official changes will be in there. And then the following week, we should get a trade deadline update for the rosters officially on Friday, as the trade deadline is next Thursday, which is February 6th. Lots of moves coming. The De'Aaron Fox news. Jimmy Butler could be on the move. Cam Johnson, some other moves as well. So a lot going on the channel. Later this month, or next month, I should say, sometime around the 20th or so, there should be another patch update. So hopefully we get some likeness updates. Have a video out for that as well. Please, if you can, hit the like button on the channel. Make sure you're sub to the channel if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button. That way you can see all the content that I have coming out. There will be donation links in the description. If you like this content and you want to see more content, please consider donating. It takes a lot of time to go through and make sure all the steps are right, especially the coaches, uniforms, and courts for teams. That takes a long time. People think it's just like, oh, well, you could just copy this over. No, it takes a few hours at best just to get it all into a roster. Then you have to edit it on top of that. So endless hours put into it. So please, if you can donate anything, it would be greatly appreciated. There'll be a PayPal and a Cash App link in the description. So make sure you click those and can donate something, please. That would really help me. But yes, thank you everybody who has donated already. I really, really appreciate it. It helped a lot, more than you guys know. And thank you for watching all the videos. Hope you enjoy the content. Let me know in the comments any feedback on this roster. If you are the original creator of this roster, please let me know. That way I can put you in the description and give you the credit you deserve. I just saw a bunch of people copy it, and so I don't know who the original creator is. So thank you for at least putting a baseline of this roster. It's really appreciated. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Stay safe and take care.